We start this talk with a statement that healthcare is everybody's business. I am a doctor. I am a palliative care doctor. But yet I say I cannot give healthcare. The medical system cannot give healthcare without your involvement. But we also need to know that doing it together is not an easy task, because our healthcare room now has an elephant. All those people around the elephant are trying to do a good job. But in the meantime, the elephant went on growing, and it has become the factor that is squeezing the system. Terry Kettering, who sang about the elephant in the room, said that elephant is large and squatting. It is hard to get around it, but yet we keep managing somehow. We keep making small talk and pretend that the elephant does not exist. We do all that. We do not talk about the elephant in the room. That's the healthcare room where doctors, nurses, and all are together trying to do an almost impossible task and failing. Let me explain why I say this. That mother and her son, who is now 14, are being treated by us now. She had been living with diabetes since the age of 5. She got married, and then the diabetes got worse. At some point, she started losing her eyesight, and then her legs got infected, and she was abandoned by her husband. Later, he abandoned the son also, and they did not have a house to stay in. You wouldn't believe it. This was what we found on the first visit. She was living with her son in that small shack, which is almost as big as a chicken hoop. She had no income, and at some point, the handout stopped, and one weekend when they went without food, and on Sunday afternoon the boy said, "Mom, I cannot stand this hunger. Let us commit suicide." The mother persuaded him to hang on for just one more day without food. In the morning, went to the hospital and told the doctor, "I cannot go back home." They looked after her for a while, and 3 months later, they found us. And when we heard about them and started looking after them, we found that not only was she blind, she was at risk of losing both lower limbs because the diabetes and the infection had invaded them so much. Today, because the community around involved, because we got a volunteer lawyer to intervene on her behalf, give her an identity, get her a ration card, put up the story in social media. She has now a rented house to live in. We paid for a paid caregiver so that she could get operated. And after 4 years, she saw her son again. They now have a hope of rebuilding a life. But if you think these are only the problems of the poor, let me tell you, the rich often have bigger problems. This person who was dying of an incurable disease, was sentenced to life imprisonment in an intensive care unit. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, all of you will die someday. Okay, I don't want you to think about it if you do not want to, but I am not afraid. I can think about it. Imagine my last month of life with an incurable illness. What would be important for me? I need to be physically comfortable. I need to be free of pain. Remember, 98% of Indians do not have access to even basic pain relief. Leave alone treatment of other symptoms. Leave alone somebody handling the depression, anxiety, guilt, or other psychological factors or social issues. We live in a country where now the growing out-of-pocket health expenditure in a year destroys 55 million people in 1 year. This man and his family are being systematically destroyed. He undergoing torture in isolation. In that last month of life, what would be important for me? Not my Mercedes if you gave me one, not a mansion with a swimming pool, not all the awards and degrees hung around me. What will be important for me? The only things that will be important for me will be the love that I get and the love that I am able to give. And those are precisely the things that will be stolen from me by the healthcare system. These are elephants in the healthcare room. The poor, the really poor, are left suffering and die horrible deaths. The rich are incarcerated, condemned to life imprisonment and medically sanctioned torture and die worse deaths. All problems, what's the use unless we start talking about some solutions? This is the definition of health. Physical, social, and mental well-being. And that is why I say we doctors and nurses can give some treatment for the disease and maybe tomorrow, maybe even physical comfort, but without involvement of the community, which has been destroyed over the last half century in our country. Without the community around it, that mental and social well-being cannot be achieved. Without a volunteer directing us to that woman and child, we would have never seen them. Without volunteers explaining and educating the family, that man would have died in that intensive care unit. Eventually, he was saved from there and died with his head on his son's lap. The elephant is a huge animal. The nature of that element is a major of omission on the part of the healthcare system, not treating suffering, and a major of commission of stretching out the dying process and giving torture in intensive care units, even when we are sure that the person is dying. It doesn't happen in the USA or UK. There, in at least 75% of cases, in the face of futility of treatment, people are withdrawn from artificial life support and receive palliative care. We, you and us together, need to help get that elephant out of the healthcare room, but it has grown. Unless we break open a door or two, we will not be able to push out. But this is necessary, and this can be done. I am saying it can be done because it has happened in Kerala to a large extent. We rebuilt the community. We encouraged the layman, the lay person on the street to become partners with us. In our tiny state of Kerala, which occupies only 1% of the landmass of India, There are more than 350 local organizations in small towns and villages where compassionate people get together, take responsibility for looking after the people around them. And this rebuilding of the community is essential if the current destruction of the society by the healthcare system is to stop. The world nations got together in the capital of Kazakhstan in 2018, and this declaration to which India is a party says healthcare for all cannot be achieved unless it's healthcare with all, giving not only partnership but also control over healthcare to the community. That woman in that hut would have never seen a doctor. This Kerala has a better healthcare system than most other states in the country. Yet, not just hundreds or thousands, lakhs of patients still are in suffering, serious health-related suffering. And that's being reduced because, like that woman, volunteers get together, identify people who are suffering in the community, educate the community about what can be done, and get care across. This is making use of the concept of social capital. The man is now the microscopic element of the social capital. His family is destroyed, his sons are elsewhere, working in and trying to make money and sending the money, a little bit of the money back, which immediately is swallowed up by the medical system. And at the same time, have you noticed the small village hospitals and town hospitals are dying? The corporate big hospitals are growing. They are growing so big, that's the macro element, becomes a strange place where the micro element does not feel connected. The meso element, the community is coming in to rebuild the connection. Let me expand that middle panel to show you that picture. 2 years back, on World Palliative Care Day, our volunteers decided to give a treat to people who are confined to their homes. In our country, if somebody gets a paralysis or bad accident, then they are confined to home for the rest of their lives. And the only outing for them would be to the hospital, because our homes are not accessible, roads are not accessible, sidewalks are not accessible, movie houses and public offices are not accessible. Well, they got together 40 people on wheelchair. To bring 40 people, we needed 160 volunteers because 4 people had to go to individual homes, physically carry the person, often up a hill or down a hill to the road, put them on a vehicle and bring them to the seaside. We had no problem. Just 2 phone calls to 2 engineering colleges. On that Saturday, we had 160 young, able-bodied people. 4 went to one person's home and brought them. What does it matter? You see that woman in red and green, that young woman? She is paralyzed from the waist down and does not have normal sensation in her legs. She said, "The waves touching my feet was the best experience that I have had in my whole life." Physical, social, and mental well-being, would that be healthcare? I would say that is the pinnacle of healthcare, which we could not have done without engaging the community. This is a question from the poet Mary Oliver. What is it you wish to do, you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? I would like every young person in this room to think about it. You have a busy life ahead. There'll be so many things to do, examinations to go through, and new jobs to explore, new areas to explore. You will be busy. Each one of your achievements, you will realize, loses its charm once it has been achieved. And someday there comes a time when you sit back and wonder, why am I doing this? What's the point? What's the meaning of my life? And any one of the more than 10,000 volunteers in Kerala will never have a problem answering that question. They will remember how each one of them changed someone else's life and a family's life drastically. How from destruction, people were salvaged and brought back to a decent life. That is what can be achieved. In my city of Trivandrum, on Saturdays, quite a number of techies get together. We have a program for supporting education of children from families of patients, because children would drop out otherwise. We now educate something like 360 children. Many of them have problems getting back to their studies after a time of interruption. Techies from the Technopark, from Project Management Institute, give up their Saturdays to teach children, to give them individual attention and bring them back to a state of education where they will have a decent place in the society. And none of those techies will ever have a problem answering the question, what is the meaning of my life? We have to get involved in healthcare, and you, people who have the knowledge of technology, who will conquer newer and newer heights, go deeper and deeper into microscopic elements of technology. If you remember that if some of it can reach that woman and son, and that man hooked up to a ventilator, and do something to improve those lives, our country will become beautiful again. Thank you very much.